Good evening, and welcome to Doctorpiece Theater. My name is Dr. Dennis Business, and tonight we will begin our dive into the last of the Unholy Trinity. Reaper's Creek. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out what this book is about from just the few pages I have skimmed through. So I think the best course of action is to hop right into the introduction. There is more. Before you read this book, I want you to understand something. All of my books, Stones to Abigail, This Is Why I Hate You, and now Reaper's Creek, they are not creations of pure fiction. These are stories from my own, mixed in with my imagination. Many of the things told in these stories reflect on who I really was, what really happened, and what was going on in my mind. Stones to Abigail represented the better version of myself. Many of the events in that book happened in real life as well. This Is Why I Hate You represented the darker version of myself. Various aspects of that book were derived from my actual life too. But this book? This one is simply myself. Who I was both good and bad during the time this story takes place. As you read, I'll leave it up to you to decide what events really happened and what is a product of creativity. Chapter 1. Welcome to the creek. I was home, finally. My father had taken me so many places when I was in Ohio. He bought me so many things, but maybe that was just to make up for the missing child support payment. Everyone seems so worried about what their ex would do with their money, as if they are a completely different person than who they originally fell in love with. What made you trust them from the start? Also, why did your trust suddenly go away just because my mom left you? I couldn't hear much of anything over the furnace blasting in my ears. The tiny window at the base of my bed my stepdad built me allowed a subtle glow of light to peer in. I crawled over to the window to see my sister Joanna playing outside with our geese. She was happy to be home as well. Summer this year was strange. There was a girl there. When I looked at her, it felt like she was staring right through me. She had curly brown hair. Her parents were both from Latin America. She was so cute. She was my favorite part of church every Saturday, and in the entire state of Ohio itself. At this point, she is my main reason to return next summer, as I have no idea what to do with my father. Joanna just says, "Ditto," whenever she talks to my dad on the phone after he says he loves her. I wonder if he has caught on to the fact that she says that because of the things my mom told her about her biological father. Things I think might be true. I climbed down my bed, hanging by chains over the water heater, washer, and dryer. That's right, I live in an 8x6 box. It sits by the kitchen in my 900 square foot home. However, all things considered, to me, it's a paradise here. When I am at my dad's house, I feel like I'm in some sort of cookie-cutter Christian bubble cult. Everyone is smiles, everyone doing something, going somewhere. Yet I wonder how they can ignore how corrupt they are. I see past them showing off their pretty ivory teeth every time they see me. They are hiding themselves. They are still breaking many of the fragile people they come across, and smiling just the same. Walking outside, my stepdad is working on making another bed with his bare hands. Just like the bed he made me. The bed that somehow allowed me to exist with my own space, in such an unlikely place. Where would I be going to bed without the contraption he made me? In the bathroom? Maybe we'd just hang a blanket from the ceiling in our little wooden front room. "Hi, Papa," I said as my stepdad chipped away. He looked up with his goofy mustache, bending to his smile. "Well, hey there, Greg. I'm making this bed for your cousin Rod." I smiled and replied, "Oh, cool," and thought about what he was getting out of it. My stepdad had so much time on his hands. Maybe he was putting food on the table, or maybe he was just trying to be everyone's friend. The problem with friends is they aren't bound to you by blood. There's no promise they will never go away. Sometimes I feel like my real friends are the woods that surround my house, the creek that runs by it. They don't leave me. They don't lie to me. They tell me who they are, and they never change. "Hey, Dork," belted my sister, who was no longer playing with the geese. "Oh, hi, Joanna. What are you doing?" I said with a smirk. She replied, "None of your business, loser." That was typical Joanna being irrational. Why did she say hi to me if she did not want to talk? Oh, right, to call me a dork and move on. I wanted to go up the trail to the swing alone, but I felt a familiar wet dew on my feet. Of course, I wasn't wearing any socks or shoes yet. "Hey, Daniel, want to help me out over here?" My stepdad was trying to insert a section of the bed into a supporting pole, but the teeth of the headboard kept wobbling around, making it a two-man job. My stepdad was a tall man, maybe 6'1". He had a haircut like he was in the Beatles band, but the caterpillar above his lip threw the look off. I always admired how healthy he looked, because almost everyone else his age looked like they were well on their way to getting diabetes. "What are you waiting for, kid?" my stepdad asked. I replied, "Sorry, Papa. I gotta go grab shoes. 1 second." He replied with a dad-like, frustrated, but friendly voice. "Alrighty then." Slipping on some shoes inside, I ran back out and pushed the teeth of the headboard in the associated slots, so he could firmly put the side of the headboard into the supporting beam. My stepdad said, "Thanks, buddy. I'll let you know if I need any more help. The baseboard should be no problem, as it's shorter, though." I laughed and hugged him. "I'm going up the hill, Papa," I said. He replied, "Okay, kid." Running up the hill, I got hit by countless stickers. Those are the plants that basically get stuck to your clothes by hooking them with their sharp prongs, or by otherwise having a natural adhesive on them. I really didn't worry about the stickers at this point. It was the nettles I was afraid of. Those push little needles in your skin and cause significant pain. Oddly enough, if you boil them, apparently they make a decent soup. But make no mistake, they are basically the jellyfish of plants. Getting past all the stickers, I was finally to it. The tree. The massive, beautiful tree with a rope hanging down, just at the right length so you could swing on it without smacking your body into any nearby trees. Climbing up to the black and yellow twisted rope, I grabbed on and began to swing around. "Whoa!" I screamed almost every time. I was so happy to be finally at the place I belonged. It didn't matter I was wearing my pajamas still. It didn't matter that I was wearing a t-shirt supporting a non-Christian TV show. I wasn't at my biological dad's anymore. I was alone, in the woods. I was free. Suddenly, I saw the face of my bully show up right in front of my eyes. It was Philip. And immediately after, everything went black. Uh-oh. I felt a small amount of blood dripping down my stomach. My eyes were closed. Without opening my eyes, I rolled backwards onto my back. I opened my eyes and saw only trees above me. I was still outside, in the woods alone. The birds were chirping, the sun rays were peeking through the leaves and pine. The air was so beautiful smelling, and I could hear little insects crawling around me, minding their own little business. Everything was right where it should be, except for me. What happened? Looking down, I could see the white t-shirt I was wearing now had a hole in it, and a blood spot. I had fallen off the rope swing after I fainted. Why did I see Philip's face? Walking down the hill and into the yard, Joanna said with her basic brown teenager haircut and her clothes that were too tight for her plump body type, "Oh my God, Dork, are you gonna die or something?" I replied, "Yes, Joanna, I'm going to die. Don't come to my funeral. You would somehow make it suck even more." Joanna yelled back a fake laugh as I walked into the house. She had nothing else to say. Stepping across the wood floor, my mom painted white as a result of our pets peeing on our former carpet till it was unbearable to have around. I walked into the bathroom, now compressing my wound. I took off my shirt and threw it into the tiny trash bin. Looking into the bathroom mirror, I gazed at my own face. Same Daniel as always. Sharp jawline, acne on my face, bushy eyebrows, and abnormally tall for an 11-year-old. My brown hair was so boring. I thought about dyeing it all the time, but my mom said I was too young. Looking down, I could see my wound. It was surprisingly incredibly superficial. Maybe the sharp stick I had fallen on when I blacked out had hit a rib. Imagine if I was hit somewhere else. It would have at least dug deeper. Time for my favorite part. Pouring hydrogen peroxide on my wound and watching the science project explode in front of me. I felt like I had enough outdoors for that day. It was time to retire to my bedroom and play video games for the rest of the day. My game of choice, Metal Gear Solid, a game that had been unwillingly programming my worldview, causing me to prematurely judge and reflect on aspects of our world I would have not considered till I was at least an adult without it. Mom gets home at 5 o'clock. Oh, what have I done? That was chapter 1 of Reaper's Creek. And what have we learned thus far? Greg is 11. He has a stepdad. He doesn't like his dad's house because it's boring. He sleeps above a washer and a dryer and a water heater at 11 years old in a box suspended from the ceiling. He has a sister named Joanna. We don't know how old she is, but she's in middle school or high school, I guess. Sure wasn't much of a story off the bat. Just some emo 11-year-old brooding about how he hates everyone he's ever met. And at 11 years old, he can tell the fake Christian smiles around him. Dr. Dennis Business calls bullshit, but we'll talk about that another time. This has been Doctorpiece Theater, and my name is Dr. Dennis Business. And as always, my friends,